Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Wednesday, 4th September 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Roman Catholic priest in St. Lucia tells local politicians, do better. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Local politicians are being challenged to lead by example. Father Albert Smith, parish priest of the Good Shepherd Roman Catholic Church in Bourbonneau, has expressed concern about the growing trend of personal attacks among politicians and their supporters from the two main political factions, calling for an end to such behavior. The appeal follows similar calls from the Prime Minister and the Tourism Minister. Zane Romulus of the DBS News World reports.
People are going to represent us in public.
During his homily last Sunday, Father Albert Smith, the parish priest in Bourbonneau, expressed his deep concern about the prevalence of personal attacks, particularly among politicians.
The people who bring themselves in front for politics, they say they are Christians, you know. And some of them, they say they are Catholics. True religion demands that you do not tarnish each other's reputation. And it goes for some of you sitting here this morning, because some of you sitting here this morning have nothing good to say about each other here. Some of you have nothing good to say about each other right here in this parish. Some of you have nothing good to say about me, mamele.
The Roman Catholic priest emphasized that this conduct is unbecoming, especially for those who hold leadership positions in the country.
Too often we hear politicians saying all kinds of things about each other. But politicians, I need you to remember that you are leaders and our young people are looking up to you, and you claim you are Christians. Some of you go to the Catholic Church, some of you go to the Adventist Church, some of you go to the Evangelical Church. Let us be Christians above everything else before we destroy each other's reputation.
He urged the political leaders to set a better example and conduct themselves in a manner that reflects the dignity of their offices and positions.
If people are going to represent us in public office, we need to demand better behavior from them. We need to ask them to lead us, not to hell, but to Jesus Christ. We need to. And we who are Christians saying amen this morning, we too must do the same thing. We must do the same thing. It's not for one and not for the other. Punutut. Including priests, bishops, religious sisters and brothers. All of us. We must lead by example. But the politicians, they are in the media 24/7 and they need to do better.
Last week, both Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre as well as Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire drew attention to the pervasive bitter language and hostility on social media. Both government leaders have called for an end to the ongoing mudslinging and appealed for a more constructive and respectful discourse, focusing on addressing the nation's important issues. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
Venezuelan President Maduro's plane was seized by the U.S. authorities, who say the aircraft was illegally purchased and smuggled out of Florida. CBS News Miami reports.
United States seized a plane belonging to Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. Tonight, the Maduro regime is reacting.
CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister joins us from Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, where that plane sits tonight. Sources say this aircraft is Maduro's equivalent to Air Force One. This seizure happening after investigators believe that this airplane was violating U.S. sanctions, among other criminal issues. The jet that often flies with Venezuela's leader, Nicolas Maduro, is in Fort Lauderdale. It was seized in the Dominican Republic by Homeland Security investigations after they determined it was illegally purchased by Venezuela for $13 million and smuggled out of the U.S. so Maduro and his associates could use it.
It says that HSI Miami, HSI on the whole, and its partners have the expertise, the global reach, and the partnerships to impact anyone, including heads of state who think they're untouchable.
HSI officials say they've had their eye on Maduro for years and that this seizure is just part of a lengthy investigation.
We've disrupted the flow of over $2 billion and indicted over 30 members of the Maduro regime, associates, and facilitators.
The move comes after outrage and protest across the world following the results of July's Venezuelan presidential election, a race Maduro claims he won. But the United States isn't acknowledging Maduro as the winner, but rather opposition leader Edmundo Gonzalez. Monday night, Venezuela's prosecutor's office issued an arrest warrant for Gonzalez, claiming he failed to respond to 3 summons to testify about an opposition website which published detailed results of the country's disputed presidential election. Maria Corina Machado, another opposition leader and supporter of Gonzalez, taking to X with this statement, saying, "They have lost all sense of reality by threatening the president-elect. They only succeed in uniting us further and increasing the support of Venezuelans and the world for Edmundo Gonzalez. Serenity, courage, and firmness, we move forward." As for the seizure of the plane, the Venezuelan government describes it as piracy and claims that the U.S. is escalating aggression towards Maduro's government. But for now, reporting from the Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, Anna McAllister, CBS News, Miami.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
In association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
5 shot after gunman opens fire into the crowd along New York Caribbean Carnival parade route.
The search for a shooter after gunfire explodes, hitting 5 people during the Caribbean Carnival parade in Brooklyn. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon with the latest on the search for the gunman.
As sanitation swept up the garbage and glitter left from a parade that by all accounts was a success, and vendors packed up, police continued to provide crowd control, responding to calls into the night, and making arrests for the occasional mischief and fights. But the search continued for the young man wearing all brown with a black bandana who shot and wounded 5 people. It happened right in the middle of the afternoon and the middle of the parade route on Eastern Parkway between Classen and Franklin Avenues.
This is not random. This is an intentional act. One person going to a group, firing his weapon.
The shooter fired from the divider here on the Parkway into a crowd of people who were watching the parade on the sidelines. Most of the vendors here didn't even notice.
I was just busy cooking. I didn't hear it because of the loud noise of the music.
The thumping rhythms of the Caribbean Carnival music drowned out the gunfire. Police were already close, and paramedics quickly scooped up the injured. 4 male victims ranging in age 16 to 64, plus a 69-year-old woman, all in stable condition tonight.
It's horrible because we're all out here to celebrate our cultures, to celebrate all of our different mixture of cultures together, and it's taking away from that.
As the NYPD tonight asks anyone who might have video or helpful information to share it, many who love this cultural tradition are once again disappointed that someone would bring and use a gun to what's supposed to be a show of unity.
It's a shame that something like that should happen on such a beautiful day. It shouldn't happen any other day, but this day is such a special day. They shouldn't come out here with the violence, because this is all about love, music, and culture.
On Eastern Parkway in Crown Heights, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Trinidad and Tobago celebrated the 62nd anniversary of its independence on Saturday last. And for much anticipated Independence Day parade, citizens were treated to military-style parades at the Queen's Park Savannah and throughout the streets of Port of Spain. Stacey Yarwood of TTT News reports.
From the first Independence Day, marked by more than a week of festivities from August 28 to September 5, 1962, the Independence Day parade has been a staple. This year, more than 1,500 personnel from armed and unarmed branches executed precision drills in full dress uniform for the marching of the parade square at the Queen's Park Savannah and the subsequent route march throughout Port of Spain. Spectators dressed in their national colours filled the bleachers, while in the grandstand were Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, other members of Parliament and specially invited guests. President Christine Kangaloo presided over the parade. Today, history was also made with a female officer overseeing the presidential escort. Leading the troops of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Mounted Branch was Assistant Superintendent of Police Rene Bin Keller, mounted on a police horse named Hannibal. And all were treated to the various arms going through their paces, accompanied by combined bands. Citizens and visitors shared favourite moments from the parade and their wishes for Trinidad and Tobago.
Vibe is on, and it's good to see everyone getting out, enjoying the colours, the music, and it's great. Been a great morning so far.
The best part of this evening when the band was going up the road, that was amazing. They all was energetic, they all was holding vibes. Even though the sun is hot, they're still keeping it hot. And we like that.
So I started coming back from last year because it's something I always enjoyed. And yeah, I love it. It's good. Yeah. The highlight, fire. Yeah, fire. I love, and just the whole, everybody coming together as one. I wish that Trinidad and Tobago, we can come together, not only for like independence, football and cricket and carnival. I wish we could just, if we bring this together, we would be a better place.
The best part of the parade for me was definitely the marching and the rhythm section. I really enjoyed that. And my wish for Trinidad is less crime, safer, and just for it to be safer.
But in terms for Trinidad, I think we need to come together and do a little better for the country, for the people, to tackle crime. We have so much potential everywhere with athletes, with everything, young people. We just need to do better as a country. We have it in us. We have it in us. Come on, let's go.
Stacia Yarwood, TTT News.
The University of the West Indies intends to ensure it maintains its ranking among the top 5% of the best universities in the world. Vice-Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles says the ranking is a major achievement of the University of the West Indies, noting it has achieved that status due to its academic work, research and teaching. He says the university's purpose is to uplift each and every citizen through access to higher education. Sir Hilary, as he welcomed new students pursuing studies at the Caville campus during the 2024 matriculation ceremony, told them that they have much to offer University of the West Indies to make it richer and more relevant. This year's ceremony was held under the theme Embracing Social Responsibility Through Ethical Action. Sir Hilary encouraged the new students to embrace regionalism.
You, for us, represent the finest asset of the institution. You, our graduates. And vice versa. We believe that the university has much to offer you along your journey, your intellectual development, your skills training, your advocacy, your sense of purpose, and critically, your commitment to the development of the Caribbean society and its people. Take full advantage of the full universe. Yes, you are enrolled on one of our campuses, but take the opportunity to know all of the campuses of your university, to interact with your peers and your cohorts upon other campuses and other programs. Embrace UWI as a regional university 5 campuses, 1 university.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.